I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Sydney Sweeney gets questioned by a woke interviewer who gives her the opportunity to talk about her white supremacist jeans ad with American Eagle. And guess what? Sydney Sweeney has the perfect response. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Yes, today we're talking about none other than Sydney Sweeney. Again, we're talking about whether or not this girl supports Trump. We're talking about her body. And now we're talking about, again, her American Eagle jeans ad where they said Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Well, she was recently doing an interview and the interviewer decided to, I guess, just hand her on a silver platter the opportunity to talk about the white supremacy angle for her American Eagle jeans ad. And let's roll the clip because I think we're now seeing the juxtaposition between somebody who is going full force woke and somebody who's completely over it with this clip.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
I think that when I give a fuck, I'll let you know that I give a fuck. This is essentially what Sydney just said, which is so hilarious because we're in this era where celebrities go to interview and if they have a sort of woke topic that's circling around them, they're expected to just like button up and give a total speech on how they support this marginalized identity or how they did this thing wrong. And they're supposed to like bow down and, you know, lick the boots of the people that they've offended. And now Sydney Sweeney is like, you know what? I'm absolutely not going to do that. When I have something to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. You don't get to force a conversation onto me. And for so long, interviewers and Hollywood and the whole entertainment industry has been getting away with just forcing these conversations onto people. And Sydney Sweeney did nothing wrong. It's very interesting that like this interviewer comes to her with this gracious smile of handing her an opportunity to really admit that she's a white supremacist or admit to the fact that she played into white supremacy. And you can hear it in the sort of leading nature of the question. Sydney Sweeney never suggested that white people have genetic superiority or that she has genetic superiority. She just said she has great genes. She didn't leave any of y'all out. She didn't exclude you from the conversation and say that you don't have great genes. She just said hers are cool. In fact, American Eagle said that hers are cool. In fact, the world said that Sydney Sweeney's jeans were cool when they've hired her into Hollywood, when they put her as the model for all these different campaigns, when people are just like ogling her at any given moment. And you know what? That's just the life that she was handed, and that's the ad that American Eagle brought to you. So to make that synonymous with white supremacy is kind of insane, and I'm glad she treated it like it was insane. She just looked at her and said, you know what? When I have something to talk about, I'm actually going to talk about it. And it reminds me of Keira Knightley, who we recently reacted to, who did something similar when asked about her relationship to J.K. Rowling's politics, because she was hired for a Harry Potter audiobook to voice Professor Umbridge. Now I'm going to roll that clip.
I saw you're voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott, giving J.K. Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people?
I was not aware of that, no. I'm very sorry. You know, I think we're all living in a period of time right now. We're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions. So I hope that we can all find respect.
And there we go. She said, you know what? I know you're asking me for an opinion on that. I'm not going to give it to you. And I'm very sorry, which means I'm really not sorry at all, given the nature of how she said sorry. And that is how this should be treated. These people have been getting away with this for far too long. So shout out to the Sydney Sweeneys. Shout out to the Keira Knightleys who are going, you know what? I'm actually here for an interview and I can answer the questions that I want to answer. And I don't have to get into a full-fledged debate about white supremacy because I did an American Eagle ad. And that's really what we have going on here. People will do something so small and it builds into this like offensive mountain from the molehill where it started at. Now you have celebrities like Amy Lou Wood who are coming after Sydney Sweeney on a post that was talking about Sydney Sweeney's recent interview about this American Eagle ad. She posted a vomiting emoji, which is just so interesting to me. Just why? And can we actually just lay out what Sydney Sweeney did wrong in the American Eagle ad? I have a feeling you guys just don't like her. And I guess that's fair. But then to jump into calling her a white supremacist and even a Nazi for what was done in that ad is absolutely insane. But here we have this tweet. in response to Sydney Sweeney that I have to pull up and show you guys. Now, this guy says, Sydney Sweeney in an acting role. Heart eye emoji, heart eye emoji, heart eye emoji. Then Sydney Sweeney in an interview, I am Adolf Hitler. So now, if a company wants to hire you and says that you're beautiful, and they want to pitch to the American people that you have, great genes, we're bringing hotness back, whatever the case may be, and you agree to that, you take the money for that deal and you do the ad, and you're not singling anybody out and saying that they have bad genes, you're not saying white people are literally superior, you are Adolf Hitler. And if the word Nazi means anything to you today, I don't know why, because people are throwing it around like candy at a parade at this point. Everybody's a Nazi. I'm a Nazi. Sydney Sweeney's a Nazi. Everybody who has any sort of dissident opinion to the mainstream idea of what you're always supposed to say is a Nazi at this point. And let's not lie to ourselves. Look at Sydney Sweeney. She has great genes. It doesn't mean that you don't. And it certainly doesn't make her a white supremacist. And thank goodness she had the balls, funnily enough, to, or the boobs, I guess, in Sydney Sweeney's case. That's what everybody wants to talk about. To say to this interviewer, when I have something to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. We need more of this energy from this point moving forward. Again, shout out Sydney Sweeney. Guys, leave your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you disagree with anything I said in this video, duke it out, but do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on this channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.